Hey babes, welcome to the Boss Babe Mindset Podcast, a podcast for women looking to elevate their lives, step into their power, and manifest abundance into their lives so that they can be the most badass version of themselves. Today's podcast is all about mindful relationships and how they can determine the success of your life and the overall greatness of your life. Let's go ahead, get this podcast started. Right, so first things first. More than anything, when it comes to mindful relationships, or let me back up a little bit. Mindfulness in general should be a daily part of your life. Like it should impact every dimension of your life, not just your physical well-being or the food that you put in your body, but also the relationships. And I think that's something that's often overlooked. You have to have mindful relationships, whether those are romantic sexual relationships or relationships with your family, relationships with your friends, your dog, whoever you have a relationship with, there should also be a mindfulness component there. Like there should always be intention behind why you establish that relationship, because it is personal. It's a very personal thing to have a relationship with someone, and if it doesn't serve your highest good, well, then it's not a healthy thing, quite honestly, to keep in your life. And I'm not saying abandon ship when it comes to everyone in your family that doesn't serve you, or abandon ship with all your friends, but I have this podcast out there more as a way for you to really evaluate the relationships you have in your life, see which ones are worth savoring and keeping around and really holding on to and working on, and then seeing the relationships where people don't really give much value to your life, that don't uplift you, elevate you, or anything like that, that just kind of keep you either stuck or kind of pull you down. And that's really important to determine, because if you really do want to elevate your life and take it to the next level, then you have to make sure that the people in your life are on the same page. Otherwise, things are not healthy, and things are not going to change. Period. Like, you can't take it to the next level if the people in your life are not willing or not able to take it to that next level with you. Like, they're not worth holding on to. Your time, your energy is very precious. And it's precious because you're very limited when it comes to the amount of energy you have in a lifetime and the amount of energy you have in a day. So you have to be wise about where and who you spend your energy on. And then when it comes to a lifetime, I mean, guys, everybody dies. Like, life doesn't last forever. I hate to be so frank when it comes to that, but it's true. Like, life is so precious because it could end at any moment. So you have to make sure that you're living your best life no matter what, and the people in your life are supporting you, because otherwise, what a waste of a life. And I think about these things a lot more, I think, than the average person my age, because I work primarily with older people. You may not know this, but I work as a fitness instructor at a retirement community. So I'm constantly interacting with people in their 70s, 80s, 90s, even 100. And they have a lot of regrets in their lives. They have a lot of good advice, but a lot of people, they have a lot of good wisdom that they share with me, and it helps me up level my own life when I have people constantly giving me guidance and support. Like, these are people who uplift me and support me. I don't go to work and dread it or hate my coworkers, or if there's none of that when it comes there. But also, I have people there who have told me what's important in life, and one of those things is having healthy relationships with other people. Like, I have one woman that I know, and we're very close, but she told me her biggest regret is not divorcing her husband sooner. And I know that sounds terrible, but what she's told me about her husband, he was verbally abusive and never let her go outside of the house wearing makeup, and he never wanted her to dress up, and he never wanted to go out with her friends and go dancing and have fun. And if you met this woman, you would never guess that. This woman is always like dressed to the T's, always wearing like 3 or 4 inch heels. Makeup is always done. Hair always looks good. New outfit every day. I have not ever seen this woman wear the same outfit twice. Like, she's stunning. Like, I would have never guessed she came from a relationship like that. But that's why this topic is so important, because the people you have in your life may or may not support what you want to do with your life. They might not support that same vision, and it's so important not to hold on so tightly to certain people, because they can essentially drag you down. Like, this woman regrets not getting rid of her husband sooner, you know? Imagine if she would have divorced him, like, maybe a few years into the marriage, whatever. She would have been a completely different person. You know, she could have stepped into her power and been more confident way, way earlier on. Okay, and speaking of romantic relationships, a lot of people ask me, like, what are the keys to having, like, a really successful relationship? I've been with the same partner for, I don't know, it's been about 6 years, going on 6 years now. And I'll tell you, like, because we have broken up in the past, I've figured out what works and what doesn't work. What works is, the number one thing I would say, and I've talked to a lot of old folks, and they're pretty much on the same page here. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. You've heard that expression before, but it's so true. Because when you allow that space, that distance, and you allow each person in the relationship to be themselves and do their own thing sometimes, just not always constantly together, that is what will end a relationship real quick, let me tell you that. But giving each other space and allowing the other person to do what they love and make decisions for themselves and think independently. Because when you're in a relationship with someone, constant compromise, like, you may not be doing fully what you want to do, because you'll be like, oh, well, I'll meet in the middle because I love you. But that's why it's important to go off with your girlfriends sometimes, or go and do something, take yourself on a date and just be on your own for a day, because it helps you remain you and happy and full, and also allows the other person to do the same. You know, does that make sense? I think it makes a lot of sense, because occasionally I'll tell my fiance, like, I'm going to go see Chelsea. I hope Chelsea's watching. But I'm going to go see Chelsea this weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Like, I need to go see her. Like, I need to go spend time with her. Like, I need to come back to myself and, you know, just enjoy some time with her, to be alone with my girlfriend and just talk the talk and do our own thing. And then on Sundays, I always take myself on a date. That's what I like to call it. But I always go to the park and I do acro yoga, and then I might go out to eat after that. I might go visit family. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I plan the whole day around myself. Like, my fiance's not around, so I'm just going to go do my own thing. Like, I'm not going to just snooze around and wait on him to come home. Like, what kind of life is that? Not a good one. Not one that I want to live. So it's really important with those types of relationships that you give each other those boundaries and that respect for one another, to still you shouldn't lose yourself in a relationship. You shouldn't lose your friends in a relationship. You should be, compromising in the sense that you can still be yourself. You shouldn't lose yourself for the sake of a relationship. So I'm going to leave that when it comes to romantic relationships, relationships with your family and your friends. I'm going to leave that part there, because it's true. It doesn't matter what type of relationship you're in with someone, you should not give up yourself in order to be in that relationship. That's not healthy. That is not healthy by any standard that I know. I don't think that's healthy at all. You should be able to be yourself around the people that you want in your life. Otherwise, you can either kick that person to the curb. That's one thing that you can do. Another thing is just create some distance. Don't spend as much time with that person. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Or if it's like, family that you see all the time, like, set some boundaries. Have a conversation with that person. Like, if you live with that person, have some boundaries and say, listen, I need X, Y, and Z, or this is not going to work. Like, be very, straightforward and have some non-negotiables there. Like, if you really, know you can't let go of that relationship, especially when it comes to family, then set some boundaries for yourself. Totally healthy, totally fine, in my opinion. So, that's that. And then also, family is a really complicated one, guys. I know I've talked about this in the past, but yeah, that's my biggest piece of advice. Set the boundaries, and the earlier you do it, the better, so that you don't get into this huge argument or fight or stop talking or anything like that, Salvage what you have and then keep going. it'll make things healthier in the long run. I'll tell you personally with like one side of my family, I keep my distance, and it's on purpose, and occasionally someone will give me a snide remark about it, like, oh, hey stranger, or oh, you never call us, you never visit. And it's just like, well, I got to respect myself. I have to create these boundaries on purpose. Like, I know I'm not around that much, but everyone is happier, and we can just really enjoy our times when I create that space. I do it on purpose so that I don't ruin the relationship with that side of the family. It's not everybody, but just for a majority of people, like, I need that space. It's healthy for me, and it's serving my highest self by creating that space. So do what's right for you. And then romantic relationships, obviously, if you're in an abusive relationship or in any capacity, it doesn't have to be physical abuse, emotional abuse, whatever it may be. I mean, sweetheart, end that shit real soon, real quick. End that shit real quick. Like, that doesn't even need like a conversation or a thought. Like, if someone's being abusive towards you, like, they do not serve a place in your life at all, period. Like, they don't have enough respect for you. If they don't have respect for you, fuck them. Kick them to the curb. Like, in that type of situation, maybe it's just the way that I was raised. I wasn't raised to tolerate that type of BS. Like, my mom's a very strong woman, and she was a single mom for the longest time, so I think that's where a lot of it came from. But she does not tolerate that type of BS, not from anybody, not from a man especially, does not tolerate that from a man, doesn't tolerate it from her kids. Just no, like, you have to demand respect from people, and you have to, people have to respect, you have to have those boundaries, and if they don't respect them, well, then bye, see you later. We just talked about romantic relationships, and then friendships. So important, because even if you've been friends with someone for the past 10, 15, 20, 25 years, whatever it may be, whatever crazy amount of time it might be, just because it's been a long time doesn't mean that person still serves a place in your life. And hear that. Like, that doesn't mean that they're serving your highest good by keeping them around. Like, they might just become a drain on your life or an energy sucker. And you don't have time for that either in your life. Like, distance yourself. Like, yes, you can still value that relationship, but, create a little bit of space from that person. Or if need be, drop them. Or just see them every few years or so, still catch up, be cordial, but there's no need to hang out with them every weekend if you don't feel like they're helping you elevate your life. So I'll leave this discussion there. Thank you all so much for listening to this week's podcast. I hope you got something great out of it. Know that my newest program, Manifest Your Dream Life, just launched on Monday. Super excited. I still have a couple spots available at the low price. Then the price from $44. So it's a 4-week course learning all about the principles of mindfulness, how to manifest properly. Oh, that's key right there. How to manifest properly, how to get over your self-limiting beliefs, step into your power, and be the confident woman that you were meant to be. Okay, it's a 4-week course. There's weekly mindfulness calls, yoga and meditation, journaling every week, and then personal work for you to do. And I teach you these tools that you can incorporate into your everyday life so you can manifest abundance and be the badass babe that you are meant to be. She's already within here. You just got to let her out, and I'm going to be your guide on that journey. So 2 more spots. If you want to snag one, let me know. You can have it at the low price of $44. Can't beat that. $11 a week. And there's a payment plan available to any lady that wants to do it. Guys, I wanted to provide something that was affordable and where I can still help a lot of women and help them elevate their platform. The price will go up after that, but if you'd like to jump on board, let me know. Let's have a conversation, and let's do this together. Until next week, namaste. Okay.